real world rule of money today, and thank you Getty Images for having a good image that we wanted to use. So one thing to think about, and I talk about this often, is there are what the numbers say and there's what the humans can do. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of plans, a lot of people, a lot of financial books have been written, and a lot of opinions are put out there, especially by, you know, friends or family or people that we deal with. And sometimes they'll tell us mathematically the best way to do a certain thing. And while that's well and good and well-intentioned, when a human being has to implement that idea or strategy or approach, is it doesn't always work that way. And so that's what's somewhat dangerous about our school system right now when talking about money, is depending on the person that's teaching it, they may be teaching theory or they may be teaching real world applicable things. And so numerically, if you had $10,000 of debt represented by this hole, that's a $10,000 hole, meaning we owe that to somebody. And then we have $10,000 represented by the pile of dirt. So we have $10,000 in one account and we're in debt $10,000. Wouldn't it be best if we just took the $10,000 pile of dirt and filled the hole so we had no debt? Well, in theory, yes, absolutely. That would be the best thing to do, because then we don't have any debt payments. But that's why it's so important to have a well-balanced approach to finances. If that $10,000 is the only $10,000 we have anywhere, if we take the dirt and put it in the hole, how much dirt do we have to use for other things? We have none. We have zero. We have zero money. And so the question is, what happens now when there's an emergency? We have to start digging a new hole. And so the reason that people will say, well, it's going to be best to put the dirt in the hole is, well, it's several different factors. And one of those is, well, what's the interest that's being charged on the hole? Because if I'm being charged interest, then the hole gets dug a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper as I make payments to it. But another factor to consider is, what is the interest I'm earning on my pile of dirt that's just being added to that dirt? But then another thing is looking at human behavior. If I have debt represented by the hole and it's $10,000 and my payment is $200 a month to that debt, what if I'm paying no interest? Or what if I'm paying 2% or 4% or 5% interest? I'm paying low interest on that. I'm earning interest on my pile. Another thing to think is, if my payment to the debt is $200 a month, how long would $10,000 make a $200 payment? And so it's not always just about the math and what the, what the pile of dirt compared to the hole is. It's thinking of, okay, needing to stay liquid, needing to have money for other things, emergencies, etc., where if I just take all the dirt, throw it in the hole, then I have no money for emergencies. Where that pile of dirt could make that debt payment for a long time. And the wealthy have understood this for a long time, is if you have, you want to buy a car and the payment's going to be $200 or $300 a month, but your money is earning good interest, could you take your money and pay cash for the car? Yes. What if you just kept saving, kept saving, kept saving for a longer period of time, maybe drove a little bit lesser of a car until the pile got big enough that the interest on the pile made the $200, $300 payment, buy the car on a low interest loan, have the interest I'm earning make the payment, and then by the time the car's paid off, I still have all my money. And so it's little things like that to think about. Is don't look at it, as just on a surface level, and what's staring at me in the face is looking at it from more of a zoomed out perspective of how our debt affects other areas of our life. And that's the real world rule of money for today.